What's going on in the world today? What's up, guys?
What's
What's
up?
going on, Adam?
What's up? So we're gonna give everybody a few minutes to get synced in here. Back with a couple mega icon partners. Got a lot of respect for these guys. These guys are awesome. Highlighting some icon agents that was awarded their cat back last week, and then also this week. I want to talk to these team leaders and see how they've done it. Learn a little bit about these guys, but real quick, I'm going to go ahead and share this in a couple of groups that we're in. How's the weather out in California, Isaac?
Oh man, it's a good time to be a California boy. I'd tell you that right now. It's not too cold, not too hot. It's just perfect. Sports coat, t-shirt, living the good life.
Yeah. Well,
no tornadoes, no hurricanes. Right.
Right.
A little bit of earthquakes, but that's just the eXp making some waves. That's it.
Right. Well, here in the Midwest, it's getting cold for us Midwest boys, right? Like Matt's next door. I'm in Kansas, right? He's in Missouri. Is it getting cold there yet, Matt?
Yeah, it's freezing here, to be honest. It's cold and rainy all day today. Yeah, I want to go to California.
Yeah, I was going to wear shorts today, but I was like, I got to do a live, so I'm not going to do that. It's good weather.
All right, let me tag you guys here real quick. But Matt, we're doing the hard 75, man. You look good. You dropped some weight. Like, tell us how the hard 75 has been going before we kind of get into some of this stuff.
Yeah, man, it's I love it. I didn't at first, but now I'm on day 52 or 53. I don't know. I have to look at my app, but man, it's been a fun journey, that's for sure.
Right.
I'm down 17 pounds, and man, the physical results are awesome, but the mental results, I wish I could share that. I wish people could see that as much as you can, the physical, because that's 10x of those 17 pounds. So
17 pounds, man. Congratulations. So, I mean, for the people that's been following me on Instagram story, Facebook storylines, I'm back to lighting that up and been documenting my journey with the hard 75. But, you and a few of the other leaders that I personally sponsored are the reason I started to do the hard 75. Maybe just real quick, like, what is it? I know that's not what this call is for, but we just to a couple groups. But what the hell is the hard 75?
So it's one of my mentors, Andy Frisella. If you guys don't follow him, check him out. Shameless plug for him.
Right.
But he created this program. It's a mental toughness challenge. So you have to do 2 45-minute workouts every day. One of them has to be outside. So I've done some at midnight in the dark. I've done some in the rain. That's part of the mental challenge. You have to follow a diet, strict diets, no cheat days, no cheat meals.
Right.
Drink a gallon of water. Read 10 pages of a self-help type book.
Right.
Every single day.
Damn, man. It is tough, man. I'm on day 37, but I was already in pretty good shape. And I will tell you, I'm just on a whole nother level focus-wise and what's going on. We've onboarded 91 agents. I'm flowing good. I'm just coming off like back-to-back attraction calls, getting some major deals done with some big people. And so it's pretty exciting to see when you take care of your health, your laser focus, your team sees that you're disciplined, they respond well to that, right? And you're just engaged with your daily KPIs, working around the time management of 2 workouts a day, reading. I mean, I feel like I'm just in a whole nother space with focus, and I thought I was great. And I almost come up with excuses, a month and a half ago or whatever it's been, traveling a lot, already in good shape, already working out 4 or 5 days a week. But this just, man, took it to a whole nother level. So, I appreciate you peer pressuring me to get me on the hard 75 with you. Thank you for that. I know we got a network of like 100 people like in a group that's following. There's about 15 of us, maybe 10 of us left that's doing it. But we're not here to talk about our hard 75. We want to talk about how you guys how'd you hit icon status, and talk about you guys being mega icon agents running, high powered teams. Matt, I'll probably start off with you a little bit. I mean, since we're already talking, you've been on a live with me before. We've done stuff before. If you followed our journey, you guys know that Matt walked away from 100 listings, signs already stamped in yards to partner with us. And from, working with Matt and learning from him what his actual list to close ratio was, it was about $300,000 to $400,000 you walked away from to partner with me at eXp, right?
Yep.
So you were closing, a couple hundred homes with Century 21, building out a team. Things are going good, right?
Yeah.
So, right. So, and then you're going to go from, 200 to how many homes you think you'll close this year with eXp?
We'll break the 500 mark this year. Yeah.
So you're going to break 500, man.
Yep.
Wow. That's freaking amazing.
So you're going to more than double your business. You could hit 600, right? Maybe.
Maybe.
So triple your business.
Let's see how this last quarter goes. Yeah.
I mean, that is just crazy to me. Like, that's what's going on in the world today, with us. But, I wanted you to tell people, like, how did you hit mega icon status? I know we had single agents on last week. We had, Clarence, a team leader, worked in with us. Both of you guys are building traditional teams and your modern team. But help us understand maybe the structure of your team inside eXp, and all that fun stuff. And so, tell us a little bit about that, Matt.
Yeah. So, I mean, the biggest objection I get when I talk about team with eXp, there's confusion that you can't do a team inside of eXp. People think it's complicated. Yeah, it's easier to do a team. So I run it like, basically it's like my own brokerage.
Right.
I run it however I want, just under the eXp umbrella.
Right.
So I've got like you said, a traditional team. I've got buyer's agents. I've got listing agents. I've got some operation support. We've got marketing team. And so we just run it as a traditional real estate team, and been very fortunate to have some amazing people on my team and an amazing community that we support here that helped us achieve icon status.
Love it, man. I love it. So how many agents are actually on your traditional team?
On my traditional team, we have 24 total staff and agents, and 15 of those are agents.
Right. But eXp is like the little Intel chip that powers our business. The cloud office is there. A lot of people partnered with me that have teams just like you guys, right? They came to grow their traditional teams and they'll start building this modern team, create more opportunity for our agents. And the number one question, I've been on calls all morning and people were like, should I ditch my office, keep it? Like, what should I do? So help me understand, what'd you do with your office? Did you expand offices? Are you just solely working out of the cloud? What are you doing?
Yeah, so all the above. So we opened an office when we went with eXp, not just one, but two. So eXp, the model allowed us to expand. A lot of people think that, it's just a cloud office. No, that's just a benefit. That's an add-on to the eXp model. I have two offices myself. For my team. Yeah, it allowed us to expand and grow into another marketplace because of the eXp model.
Right. But those two offices you didn't have before eXp. Like, let's be honest, like, you're being pretty modest. You went through a lot of bullshit to be able to partner with me. The 100 signs and the $300,000 lost to be able to, get in financial alignment and take this shot with us. That piece is one thing, but you were actually working in and running your team out of your broker's office, right?
That's correct. Yeah. So, whenever I decided to make the move to eXp, I decided to open an office at the same time. I wanted to be a partnership with Adam Bailey, and you said it, financial alignment. Man, the value that you and the network have added to my business is the reason I was able to do that, and the reason I had the courage to open those offices. And I started from absolute zero. So any of you agents that are watching, when he says 97 listings, guys, the broker that I left took everything. I started with my team with 2 new offices being built out, over $100,000 of liquid cash invested with nothing. Started from scratch. Everything I had and everything I had built, my pendings, my listings, everything was taken from me to take this shot. And now, a year later, I've doubled my business.
So I remember one point in time when we were, moving through this transition, you had your team set up in your basement. You were working out of your house. You didn't even have a brick and mortar. You weren't on the trajectory of closing 500-600 homes, right? Like, so you've opened 2 brick and mortar offices in 1 year with eXp, right? A little over a year.
Yeah.
All right. So okay. So why keep the office, or why expand your brick and mortar office if you have the cloud?
So, I mean, the cloud's great. We still use the cloud. So it's not like we just said, we don't need the cloud. No, the cloud's fantastic. So we use it. However, I'm from Missouri. I'm in the Midwest. We're way behind the rest of the world. Let's be honest. And also, there's some spots where you don't have service. You can't go to the cloud. You don't have internet access. We're pretty rural. And for my team, I'm a hands-on leader. I like to be able to coach and train and talk to my agents face to face. And also above and beyond that, I want clients to be able to come into a space. We don't have Regis or any of those office spaces available. So I wanted to have a professional spot for our clients to come as well. And on top of that, we've even used it as a hub for other eXp agents in our network that aren't part of our team, use our conference room, have consultations and all that inside of our office.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, no, I love that. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. So the touch and go space, you've created not just for your modern team and your traditional team, but you've also monetized it for others in other lines where, they can come in, print, suck up some AC in the summertime, drink some coffee or whatever. Right. So I like that. That's awesome. So, so you opened one office, things were going well. And then when did you open your second office?
Yeah. So I'm a big thinker. I just left a meeting right before this, and one of the leadership on my team said, well, we're talking about strengths and weaknesses. And he said, well, you're fearless. That's one of your strengths. And so what he meant by that was this is a perfect example. So whenever I made the plunge to jump to eXp, I didn't just open one office. I was planning 2 offices at the same time, signed the leases within 2 weeks of each other for 2 different locations. The second location, I never had an office there before. I never operated out of an office there before. I just had the belief in this network, in this company, and in my teammates to make it happen. And here we are a year later, doubled our sales.
Doubled your sales plus. I mean, that's mine. You're going double plus and open 2 offices and growing. So, it's pretty awesome to work with, hardworking people like you. When people are like, man, how were you guys selling 1,000 houses a year? Our average sales price is 150,000 here. We had to figure out how to build a machine, a processing plant, assembly line real estate, right? To fuel that lifestyle off the volume. We couldn't just sell $400,000 or $500,000 out in California and take off, right? So,
hey, my sales price isn't that high, guys.
Average sales price, we're high this year. We're at like 150,000 or something.
No, it's really work ethic, man. Like when I look at the tribe that I've attracted and the people that I'm building with, everyone is super humble. Everyone is super hardworking, but everybody is also forward thinkers and really care about each other and all of that fun stuff. I mean, before Isaac was even out, he had to fly in with us and got to hang out with us and all that stuff. And we can get to, Isaac, here in a minute, but, I know we add a lot of value in our network. There's a lot of different people that have helped you grow, from all across the network. Obviously tapping in with Trent, rest in peace, our operation guy. I know he helped you a lot. You've coached with some other people as well, but help us understand where the opportunities lie for your agents in the future with them. What game plan you really have, going into your second year now that you have double plus your real estate traditional sales with your traditional team, 2 brick and mortars, where are you going? And then, help us understand some key ingredients that helped you hit mega icon status and achieve what you've been able to do.
Okay. You're probably to keep me on track here because I'll veer off a little bit. But so let me start with where do I see our team going? So you asked what value do I see this being provided to my team members? So I want to hit on that for a second. That was one of the big deciding factors in me making this move and I've heard you talk about it a lot, Adam, is that before, like when you were at your other company, the leadership was the ones that had the major benefit. With this model, I have a benefit. I have the same exact option and same exact benefits and upside as my agents do. And so it provides more opportunities for the agents and staff that are within my company. And so that's really one of the biggest things for me. I started a company to help clients, but also to help agents. I wanted agents to have a safe place to come work and be able to build a successful career for their families. And eXp is the best model out there for that, in my opinion. There's agents on my team that can earn more money than I can. That didn't happen before eXp.
Right. And, there's, if you study Tony Robbins or, part of his ecosystem, contribution and growth is a huge, part that we're all seeking. Right. And if you can't contribute, and capitalize on more opportunity and grow personally and also grow your net, it don't matter how many homes you're selling, right? Like you don't have that sense of purpose in terms of geometric growth and all of that stuff. And this company is solely for the agents. It's about providing more opportunities to the agents. And so I love you touching on that, man. Cool. So where's the future at with you a little bit? And then give us a couple of key ingredients. If somebody's like, give me something tangible I could extract other than hitting the damn join button and partnering with us, because it's about, just copy and paste on what we have done, right? We've already been here, done this stuff. Like in all reality, right? Like, give them something that actionable. Like what could I do or work towards to achieve what you've done? Because we did it as independents. We could help. We've coached tons of people. It don't matter, KW, wherever. So we're just doing it in eXp, right? The growth, it's just more profitable, right? So, but give them a couple of key ingredients or actionable steps, and then where do you see you like in the next year? Like, what are you going to work on? What do you have coming? Now we did this. I know a year ago when you partnered, this is what you wanted to do, but what's next? And give us a couple of tips or tricks.
Yeah. So, let's start with a couple of tips. Number one, you hit on it, work ethic. That's one of my secret ingredients is, I don't know. I don't have any quit in me. Work ethic. And that's one of the things that nobody can take away from me. So, I would just recommend that every decision that I make, and anybody that's listening, if you want to build anything of value, always think the long game. Don't think what's going to benefit me today, what's going to benefit me 5, 10, 15 years from now. Right. And that's the decision that you make. And so I've done that throughout my business, and it has actually helped me grow faster because I've just made the decisions for the long game. So give me an example. What kind of tangible stuff are you looking for, Adam?
It could really be, it could really be as simple as, like data management. It could be as simple as you dialing in scripts. It could be as simple as streamlining your operations. Like what really helped you grow? Like if somebody, a lot of people come that are already top team leaders with teams and people that follow me, right? Like selling homes, I don't want to be flippant. It's easy. It's what we do. But how do you go from 200 to 500 units, right? Like I know, and I could tell these people once I understand situationally where they're at, it's about doing the right things in the right order. So you're not going broke, right? And doing the right financial things in the right order, as long as the leadership development is in alignment with the timeline of growth, right? But, if somebody's watching doing 100 units, 150 units, 200 units, like, Isaac is going to close a couple hundred units. What advice would you give him to get to that 400, 500 unit mark?
So, there we go. All right. So the first thing is be self-aware. So look at your business with a fresh set of eyes. Look at it. Everybody walks into to their business every day, and they look at it with the same eyes every single day, and they don't see a bunch of holes. So find the holes, number one. Right. But once you find those holes, usually they're in the systems. So without a system, the default's chaos. So once you do something, you need to make it duplicatable. So when you do that, write it down, save it in a Google Drive, save it somewhere where your team can have it, and you can duplicate yourself. You can duplicate your staff. Right. That would be number one. Develop systems. Right. And I know, just another plug for you. You guys have a bunch of them that I've copied for my team to help me get to where I'm at. So that's part of the benefit of our network, right? Is that you guys have already been there, done that.
Copy and paste our systems and blow up.
Right. Number two is lead follow-up and lead management, database management. Your database is your pipeline. That's your gold. That's your gold mine. And how you follow up with them, how deep you dig in the conversations, how good you are at the scripts. Anybody can sell houses if the person calls and says, I want to buy 123 Main Street. Right. But what if they call and you have to dig deeper? You have to go through 3 or 4 objections. You have to train your agents and you have to train your team to be able to handle those objections, to be able to start that client. And so we do role play once a week. Sometimes more often we have a training every Friday of some kind of sales development growth. I'm a big believer in always growing and changing and growing your skill sets. And so that's something that I think that would help anybody is number one, systems. Number two, database management. And number three, fortunes in the follow-up. Right. One who follows up the most is going to win. Absolutely.
So just to wrap up here, your session here. Dude, I love some of the things that you said, like copy and paste with the systems, but being able to document when you're going through the process of working the systems or whatever. So then you can teach and train on them, right? And tweak and get better at those systems, right? So that's one. Database management's important. I know since I've partnered with you, you're on your third CRM. Right. And you thought that I was trying to sell you a CRM because it's something I've used forever. Shout out to Boomtown and Troy. I know we get KV Core. KV Core is a great product for single agents, but to run these high powered teams the way we run them, you know, you need something else. Right. Yep. And so being able to fix that, fix the database management, being able to communicate with people the way they want to be communicated with through their psychological processes, whether it's a dream stage, information gathering stage, actively looking stage, right? All of that stuff is important. And then the operation side to the business that you guys got nailed. So that's awesome. The other piece that I think is next in terms of the future with duplication, because if it doesn't duplicate, it doesn't matter, is leadership development. Like you have a lot of young talent, and not in terms of maybe, you know, age or whatever, but in the industry, right? And so it's amazing to me the type of results that you guys have gotten. And so the leadership is great. Right now it's time to duplicate yourself in terms of leadership, right? And elevate into a new leadership role to replace yourself to keep moving on to bigger and better things in terms of using the traditional team as a nest to build a modern team and start helping other people do what you have done, right? Like I can help you do what I've done before because we've done it.
That's right. Right. You just said, you asked what's next, man. You just hit the nail on the head right there. That's what's next.
Right.
I'm going to build out a few more systems, a few more tweaks, and I'll never stop tweaking on it. But there's some few key pieces I need to put in place and some leadership that needs to develop so that I can help focus on growing the network, not just for me, but for my agents. And I truly feel, and I've done a video on this before, I feel like I have a calling to help people. I mean, everybody on my team is amazing, but I literally, there's 4 agents on my team that came from other companies that came to us and they were ready to quit real estate. Now they're having the years of their life because of the training, the coaching, the stuff that we provide, that eXp provides, that our network provides. And I feel like, just truthfully, I have a calling to help more agents. And I feel like the eXp model is going to allow me to do that once I can step out a little bit from the team and I can expand nationally.
Right. So the next step for you is to be able to really have that vivid vision, step into more of that CEO role, develop more leaders, and then start thriving, copy and paste with the network. Right. Yep. So I love that stuff. So I know you got to go, Matt. That's why I wanted to have you go first. I know you got to go here in a bit, but hopefully you can hang out with us until you got a jet here.
Yeah, I got another 15 minutes or so.
Okay, cool. All right, guys. So the next guy that I want to be able to highlight is a pretty awesome guy. I like this guy a lot. I got introduced to him by Ray. Shout out Ray Meyer. What's up, Ray? So Ray got me connected with this guy. Spent some time with him, and he looked at eXp as a lot of hype, just like KW. It was damn near like a hard no. Blah blah blah. And so I'm like, you know what, man? I'm not even really working right now because I took 5 months off last year. A lot of people don't know that. And I said, why don't you just fly into New Orleans and hang out with us? I can't remember if it was a mastermind or
it was eXpCon.
eXpCon.
The first one, yeah.
Right. So I said, fly in and just hang out with me, man. Just hang out, see what's going on. So Isaac, tell us, you obviously are an Icon agent. You've been awarded your cap back. You have a traditional team. You guys are humming, going to close a couple hundred units this year as well. But tell us a little bit of how you're structured, your story. I know once you got to see the tribe and the like-minded people hanging out at eXpCon and tapped into the truth, the future of where we are going, you came back and said, we're doing this deal. And
absolutely.
And you pivoted an independent brokerage over TXP, right? So help us understand a little bit about your stuff.
So with my history, it's always been one of those situations where I was always that independent agent who literally worked their tail off, right? I worked my butt off, and I would work, the 14-hour days, 15-hour days, get very little sleep, and just continue that grind 7 days a week, and kind of built I wouldn't really consider a business, but I built this great job, right? This great career where I get the benefits of being self-employed, but yet, being self-employed also comes with some some things that hurt you, right? Personally and spiritually with respect to just your time. And
Right.
started grinding. And that was during my time when I was at Remax. And, I got flipped to KW because, it was a different mindset, a different model, but basically showed me really, which makes me laugh, what a P&L was, right? Because I
Right.
believe where I was at, we didn't look at our business as a business. We saw it as a job.
Right.
And KW kind of gave me this idea of, hey, you're going to be, and I'm not disrespecting anybody, but I'm just keeping it real, like, right? So I don't want to lie and fluff it up, but they said, hey, it's your business. You need to run it as a business. And all due respect to them, and thank you for them enlightening me on that. But what I quickly realized is I was growing this business and attending all these trainings and paying for coaching and paying for all these little seminars online. I felt like I was still doing a great deal of production and attracting a few agents to join me to take over my overflow of leads, overflow of open houses, kind of leveraging how they teach you.
Mm-hmm.
But I just started seeing the people around me, for lack of better words, miserable, right? Team leaders that are quote unquote happy on Facebook just coming to the office defeated and
Right.
and just and truth be told, they were broken spiritually and financially. And I'm thinking to myself, is this what I gotta fucking look forward to? Like, is what I'm killing myself for to live in this manner? So I said, you know what?
Yeah.
We're going independent. We know how to read a P&L. Thank you for that. And we know how to structure coaching and training. But you know what? We're going to go independent. We're gonna dive in on our systems. We're going to dive in on our map, and we're just going to grow it. We started off with actually 3 agents. And we grew the brokerage to 22 agents, and we're grinding, we're working hard. And then I got to the point where I saw Ray Meyer make the move to eXp, and I knew of eXp, just that the way it was always presented to me, and I hate to say it this way, but it was always like, hey, do you want to make some extra money? It just was never presented to me correctly. It was just like one of those, like you said, the hype. I just kind of kept those guys away from me. I just stuck independent, created a brand that, my clients knew to like, know, and trust. But once again, as we're having success with respect to growing this independent brokerage, I realized, dude, I need to get like an auditor, a file auditor. What's that going to cost me, right? The CRM sync that we're using, like, it's getting pretty pricey. Like, we're dumping all this money on leads. We're going to need to hire an ISA. How do you do an ISA? How do I teach them? So guess what?
Right.
I went through 3 of them, right? So I hired one. They didn't work out. Hired a second one. I'm like, dude, who trains on ISAs, right? What non $15,000 retreat do I need to buy to train this ISA? Right. And then Ray Meyer's like, hey, have you seen this guy, Adam Bailey? I was like, Adam, what? He's like, Bailey, check him out. So I looked at him. I was like, dude, this is pretty cool, man. It's just basic to the point. It's like a system, right? So we're grinding independently. We're grinding, and then Ray's like, hey, dude, I want to introduce. Oh, Matt just popped off. He says, I want to introduce you to Adam. He's like, you should come out to New Orleans with us. I told my wife, I said, hey, look, babe, I love you, but you want to go to New Orleans? She's like, well, I can't. We have a certain schedule. We have kids. I said, well,
yeah,
I'm married to man. She's like, can I go? So she gave me the permission slip. I went out there to meet you guys, and and I this attitude of like, I'm just going to hire my own ISA. I'm just going to hire my own, broker review person. It was about $150,000 because the number of agents I had on my quote unquote brokerage team, just, they required more of me, right? I'm the coach. I'm the trainer. I'm human resources, and I'm getting my ass handed to me. And I'm thinking to myself, if I want to scale and bring value to these people's lives, I got to get 4 hours of sleep. I got to sleep in this. And if I want to innovate to grow my business, then I need to go to 3 hours of sleep. And when I popped off that plane and I went to eXp and I started seeing people like right off the jet, like wear their hats and everybody's happy, I'm like tripping out like, okay, is this another Kool-Aid story? Like, what is this? But I started seeing people like Matt, I met Jason, I met Tierney. I met these like legends, almost people that are considered to be at the top of their game, smiling and happy. And what really tripped me out is I don't judge team leaders of how happy they are, right? Because we all have those team leaders in our industry that really just burn through buyer's agents, that burn through listing agents, that literally like just pay low splits and make it feel like this agent's gonna, get this carrot at the end of the tunnel, and the carrot doesn't exist. I see this business model that's out there, and I'm like, when I saw Matt's team smiling and excited and happy and grinding, and we're talking about not Matt's happy, right? But I'm not looking at Matt. I'm looking at his team. And I'm judging him off his team. And when I saw them smiling, and then I seen Tierney come with the whole damn crew, And then I saw Clarence and Ebony, and I'm talking about we're talking about people bringing people, and everybody in that crew is happy and smiling, and they're not just drinking. I don't want to say Kool-Aid, but they're bringing value to their lives. And I'm like, oh my God, this is like a Tony Robbins convention. Like, am I at church? Like, this is something that I'm not accustomed to, because in the environment I'm used to, you grind and it's F this, F that, take care of your client, but everything else is secondary, right?
Right.
But people were having the best times of their lives, not because we're in New Orleans, right? We didn't even get anywhere yet. We're barely in the hotel lobby here.
Right.
It tripped me out. So I started realizing, from a business owner standpoint, I love the culture that our network had, the communication, how you guys were all sharing with each other. I'm thinking to myself, dude, for me to get that game plan about the love it or list it guarantee, I'm like, dude, that would cost me $5,000 in some like mastermind at KW or Remax or wherever the hell it may be, Proctor, or whoever you want to go to.
I mean, well, we paid thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars.
Dude, I'll show you my P&L. I got like almost $80,000 just in education, and I'm like, and actually,
Right.
I lost business doing that, right?
Right.
And then I'm sitting here and I'm like, well, show me the cloud. Like, I remember one time I tried for to go in the lake and like not go swimming, but like literally leave my guy there and just see what happens if he jumped in the ocean. eXp World, nothing happened. But, you know, I'm just like not taking it serious. But then I started seeing like the collaborations. Like, there's a class on there. Like, if you want to become an Airbnb investor, I think on Wednesdays, it's an hour class. You could like pick somebody's brain who constantly sells Airbnbs and builds a portfolio of rental property. I'm like, whoa. And then I started seeing the build your database and all these classes. And I'm sitting here like, I never have to leave my laptop.
Right.
And mind you, I do have a brick and mortar, right? I'm stuck to a lease. We use it as a hub. I talked to Matt about, hey, how do you build this hub out for people in our network?
So you've said a lot right there. So let's actually talk about that. Yeah. So you did keep your brick and mortar then when you pivoted your independent brokerage over.
Okay, so when we say brick and mortar, mind you, I'm on my phone right now.
Right.
But I'm going to take you to the crew. Look at that.
What's going on in the world today? What's up, guys? What's up?
So we got brick and mortar. You know what I mean? Right. So we kept the brick and mortar, and we use it as a just a powwow hub to get together with, and we still use the cloud. Like we'll get a meeting room just to meet the team. Right. But we still use those things, and it's a benefit, and you don't have to have it. I mean, honestly, most of my guys are so digital now; they don't really come in like they used to.
Yeah, and I saw that you just got new space open. You tagged me on Facebook with a new location. That thing looks awesome.
So my partner Ray Meyer there's this downtown location. Fresno's in the midst of revitalizing, and it's all Bitwise 41. It's by the 41 freeway, which is, basically if you're heading up Yosemite or anywhere like that, any of our freeways will take you somewhere beautiful. But he's launching the third location, and we're standing behind him and backing him with that because we're in alignment now. See, me and Ray used to be like ferocious competitors. Like, you put us in a room together, we're not sharing anything other than a smile. You know what I mean? Now we're sitting down and we're like, right. Even though he runs his team and I run mine, because we're in the same network, like, it's a partnership that didn't cost me $100,000. So Matt, I'm sorry you had to lose those 100 listings. That sucks. If I was your broker, I'd be very smiley, very happy. But there's more power in this deal when you're in alignment. So me and Ray mastermind constantly. I mastermind with his network partners. Matter of fact, I was on the phone with Daniel last night in my hot tub, dying after Orange Theory. Not doing the hard 75. I'm working my way to get there. I'm laughing with them, and it's just this crazy alignment. So we're backing him in doing that 41 by creating additional hub spaces.
I like that,
and helping the city grow. You know what I mean?
Cool.
I want to hit on something you said, Isaac, if that's all right. So I said the power of our network is real, guys. So Isaac called me and asked me how I run my team, how I run my space. There's probably 15, 20 different people in our network that have reached out to me and asked for me for advice. I've reached out to them and asked them for advice. So we're all in financial alignment together. And there's giants in this network that are willing to help any way they can, share their playbook, all of that to help each other grow. I've never seen anything like it in the business.
Dude, I just saved $18,000. I mean, no. Once again, when I say these things, I'm not putting anybody down. I'm sorry if you don't get my check every month, but it is what it is. So I was able to save $18,000 by hooking up and putting my people not only into the cloud with the eXp trainings, but also Bob Corcoran's trainings every other Monday. Like, he spends 3 hours. I tell my guys, hey, dude, do all three and just pick his brain. Keep asking Bob questions, and if he gives you any slack, hit him with a bullshit bag, right? But this is valuable because the alignment is real. It's not just what do you want to ask me? Hurry up, get off the phone, let me answer some questions. It's more like, how can I impact your business? Because the effect that this information is going to have, it's going to benefit us all. So it's kind of like we're all like mini, I don't want to even say franchises. Like, I still can't. We need to figure out what to call this thing. Like, you know how they come up with these new words? We need a word for what our network. Like, what's just do it is just not enough.
Top Agent X and Top Agent University just rolled out. So Top Agent Experts, go join that group if you're in our line. It's actual legit coaching company that we're still charging people for, and rolled out with our network with a few other people. Been working on it for months. So everybody's got their own little mini teams, micro stuff, and then we're funneling it all back to Top Agent.
It's like brothers in arms, right? We're all part of the same squadron in the military. We're all individuals, but we're
this is like what I set out in the vision that I had a couple years ago, right? Like the cross-pollination of lines. Like you and Matt are not in financial alignment, but we're all connected and learning together, critically thinking together, and without a doubt, we're all creating together. And I think Ray at one of our couple masterminds ago, he was like, dude, everybody connected to you is just almost like you in some shape or form. So we're all very similar in terms of the way we think, how we're running traditional teams, just everything. So it isn't like we hang out at the mastermind or these events and it's like, I'll see you later, and it's a fake smile like you were talking about. We're really hanging out at night.
It's all right? Contribution and growth.
And so we're building these relationships of being super, super collaborative and triangulating, because you're all the way out in Fresno, California.
Yeah, I'm on the West Coast.
You and Matt's here in the Midwest with me next door to Missouri.
6-hour flight to go see you guys.
Yeah. Right. But to have those type of relationships where you could pick up the phone and be like, hey, Matt, hey, give me a little, secret here. Give me a little trick, a tip. And Matt's going to take time out of his busy day to do that with you because you're in the network, right?
So let me propose it this way, because people still don't understand what I'm telling them about being in the right network and the right alignment. So let's take it here. Let's step it back. If I gave you an opportunity when Steve Jobs was alive to be part of the first iPhone, right? But remember, iPhone 5's out now. So I'm telling you, hey, what if I could take you back in time to take you to the first iPhone? Would you have done it?
Right.
Everybody would say yes. Even though we're on iPhone 5, I'm still going to bring you in, and we're still going to meet Steve. And not only that, but it's only going to cost you $85 a month to do this. Now, it's not a Ponzi scheme. There's nothing crazy. We're going to give you all this value. You're going to get a T-shirt, a bag, and a bunch of knowledge. But if you had the opportunity to see where his mind was and how he invested, because you want to come up with your own phone and start your own vision, then do it. See, there's too many people out there that say, well, you guys already done it. It's too late to join. I don't see the value there. If you want me to just sum it up very simple to say, hey, give me $50,000 and I will teach you everything I know. And then when we're done, bye-bye. If you have any questions, email my assistant. More than likely, you're going to cut that check because the values, the price is higher. But this is my little secret that I tell people. I'm going into the minds of like Warren Buffett, right? I'm going in the minds of like a Steve Jobs when I talk to a Matt, when I talk to a Adam, and I'm getting direct information that's going to improve my life and my business. And yeah, we get this thing that joins us called rev share. It's a benefit, right? If I had a when I was independent, people ask me, what's your rev share? When I was a broker, I had it all. The problem is my agents, that more than likely what's going to happen is they're going to do this crazy thing that always happens, right? Agents start off doing business, right? They go to this high mountain. And then they think to themselves, shit, what future do I have? I'm still in debt, or I'm not getting that mansion in Malibu. I'm just going to go out and start my own thing. So what happens is they go down and they start building their own thing. And then they recruit some agents because you're going to have to build a business now. And then they start doing this. And then they realize when these agents leave to get that crazy split or something else that's happening, there's no substance there. There's no education. This person's burnt out. They're going crazy. And then they end up dropping everybody. And then they plateau. And next thing you know, they're sick. Their body's not right. I was going to live that issue. And then I realized, well, wait a minute. If I could kind of create two mountains here and build that bridge with eXp and still root for my guys, then I'm giving my guys a future. And as a broker, it's responsible for me if I truly care about my community, my agents. How in the hell do I care about my client, but I don't care about the person serving them? And that's where eXp brought that bridge. So when we got down in deep, you told me straight up, Adam, you asked me, and Ray was staying quiet. Hey, Isaac, I love what this could do for you, but what can this do for your agent? And I'm like, you're right. It puts them in a seat at the table. It puts them in an ownership position. Now they're a partner with me. And Matt said it best. My agents can make more money than I can. And that's where I realized You tell a broker that, shit, fees just went up. I think somebody's right now, 2020 is about to come. You guys' just splits are dropping, your fees are going up as the broker just heard this shit. And he's like, whoa, we're making more money, I got to charge more.
Yep.
Usually that's what happens. It's like taxes, right? You can't escape that shit. But this is that bridge. So now I'm like, dude, you don't have to do this and do this shit. All you do is just this. And guess what? If you don't want to train them, send them to me. Send them to Adam. Send them to Matt. Send them to Uncle Bob. Jeff Williams will get on the damn phone. Like I can't even pay for this amount of partnership. I'm just keeping it real, man.
Yeah. Well, no, it's just pretty interesting because a year ago about this time is about the time we flew into New Orleans, like October. You've only been with me. You've only been with me a year. You're an icon agent now. Your business is growing and you're doing what you're doing. And so it's just funny to see where you were at just a year ago. Hell no, I'm not joining. No, who's Adam Bailey? And then you fly in. And you're like, you get to meet all these other people you're collaborating with, and actually, what you did was you stepped back, you humbled yourself, and you just said, "Where am I wrong here? What am I missing? Where's the blind spot at? Right? Like, let's unpack this." And you actually took a couple months to unpack it with our team, and then boom, you're like, "This isn't about me.
Yeah,
it's about our agents.
It's about the agent,
right?
Yeah, it's about the people I'm going to work with every day,
right?
You know why. I get my efforts are a direct proportion on the effort I put in, right? The financial income I can make is directly related to what my brain could do in my day-to-day activities, right?
Right.
But why am I the only one winning and eating as a broker independently? That's how you lose an agent to a split. That's how you lose. See, most agents that chase the split, what's sad about it is they actually do less production because they're tired. They're chasing the split because they're trying to fill a gap. This is longevity. Knowing that my money's okay with a guy like Adam, with a guy like Matt, with a guy like Clarence, with a guy like Daniel Ramirez, my money's okay because I know that we're all pushing towards that stock. We're all in alignment with each other. We're all looking out for each other's best interest. We're in it together. And that's what I realized. Like, I can't just be the only one going to work, eating well. You know what I mean? I got to be able to share the vision with the guys. And when you own a business, let's be real. You can't just partner with someone. I've been in this industry for 10 years. I can't just say, oh, yeah, you're my business partner now. No money brought in. Usually, I think, Adam, did you have to pay a lot of money to get out of your deal when you partnered with somebody?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't just partner with me and just be like, okay, I don't want to be a partner anymore. It's a financial commitment. But now it's like you'd have to drop $100K on my table and get a 5% ownership of TIRC. You know what I mean? There's no need for that now. We just align in minds. I love this opportunity for the agent, man. I wish this was around when I was an agent.
Look, go ahead, Matt. Sorry.
Yeah, I got to run, guys. So I want to say something about agents chasing splits. I've ran into that so many times that people are like, "Oh, well, I'm on 100% split." I'm like, "Well, I'm on 108% split." How does that compare? Because of the stock, because I'm an icon agent. Now I got all that back in stock. I mean, so for those of you that are saying that you're on 100% split, think about this. This opportunity is way bigger than 100%. Not only for you, but for the people that you know and that you want to help bring up as well.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you look at, you guys are on calls with me. You know my numbers. I'm open with my finances. I'm open with my growth. I'm open with everything. And if you were to put me on that trajectory, I'm probably like 1,000%, not 100%, right? Like I haven't sat down and done the math. I've actually worked this through with other people, and there's some people, at 123%, 125%. And so you will never, ever get over your 100%, and you'll never create leverage for yourself. You'll still be, exchanging time for money. Right?
And you'll be happy doing it. That's the crazy part.
Bull crap. Like you said, you looked around those offices.
But with us, I'm saying you'll be happy doing it with us. Everybody's miserable. They're soulless.
So Matt's got to go. Tired. Matt's got to go, dude. Isaac, I love your energy, man. And you guys, before Matt goes here, we kind of move on to a little bit of structure, and then I want you to kind of give an actionable item away, how you can sell a couple hundred homes, where you see the future. If you go on the same questions, I posed to Matt, but before Matt hops off here, I want to just say it's an honor to be able to work alongside people like Matt and you, Isaac, and tons of other people in the network just, over these next couple of weeks, obviously highlighting icon agents that's been awarded their cap back from different walks of life, single agents working, SOI, word of mouth, to team leaders, to different people across the country doing it differently. But I just want to say thank you, Matt. And thank you, Isaac. And we're just getting warmed up for sure. And I know you got to go, Matt, and we'll finish up here with Isaac. So I just want
to say, Adam, thank you for introducing me to this opportunity. Man, you've really created a family. I love everybody in our network, and I mean that. I feel like we're brothers and sisters in this family of eXp. So thank you.
Yeah. No, I mean, I made a lot of mistakes along the way. I was attempting to run this like our team, like a brokerage. I didn't know what I didn't know, and so I fumbled through this stuff, and then, taking 5 or 6 months off. So I feel like right now, as we added 91 agents in the last 30 days and the growth trajectory we're on, I'm able to learn more to help pull you guys up and grow more as we're all expanding into the future. And so I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you. So, have a good appointment, man. We'll catch up later. So Isaac, let's finish up with you here real quick though. Matt had to go to an appointment, but I know you're independent. I know you've been through a bunch of trials and tribulations to make that climb to get to where you're at. But help some agents. I asked Matt to give some tips away of how to go from 200 to 4 to 5, like we gave him when he was at 200. You're going to be at a couple hundred closings pushing right there. So maybe let's sag below that, because we can really only help people achieve what we've done before, right?
Absolutely.
And so maybe somebody doing 40 units, maybe 30, 50 units. How do they actually go from that to create some leverage, or to create a business that can close, 150, 200 units in a year? Let's focus on some tips and stuff for that specific agent.
So I think one of the biggest things we had to do during this transition, because I'll be real, moving over to eXp, our numbers slowed up because our people, they joined to follow me, but some of them didn't understand the vision and what was around them. So when it started clicking, we turned in, I would say Q2 is when we started catching fire, which is not normal for myself. Usually the teams I've run in the past, we're on fire Q1, 2, and 3, 4 people vacation, right? But we still close. Now, what I had to do is I had to write down the vision, very ideal of what you want your business to be. And I think that's where we had to get back to the basics and understand what's our brand, what's the impact we're going to have in the community, and what are we going to do when we serve a client. So we have a vision for listings. We have a vision for open houses. What's our standard operating procedure when it comes to doing an open house? How do we maximize that? In our minds, we want 2 clients for every 1 open house we do. What does that look like? And I think once we wrote that down, our agents started buying in, and they started seeing the results, because you could do the whole knock 100 doors thing, but if you don't know your matrix, you're going to just look lost. When you get the 100, you realize I didn't get any business from it, therefore it sucks. No, maybe you should have did that 102. Maybe the next 2 doors would have been your ideal client. So what we did is we basically started writing down our standard operating procedures of what we expected for those items. Now, by doing that, we can hold people accountable, and they feel better about doing these things. So as a team leader, let's just say you did 10 transactions, 5 listings, 5 buyers. Okay. 5 listings, 4 open houses. Let's say the 5th you couldn't do. Door knock the neighborhood, circle prospect the area, create that mega open house feel, and ask for business, ask for referrals. And then there are some other tactics that we added by adding other MLSs in the area and freeing home valuations. By doing that, it was able to help us double that business. So even though you could sit here and say, well, I only do 10 deals. Well, you're leaving opportunities on the table of somebody you could help because you didn't do the open house.
Right.
And then the buyers, when people buy a property, they get excited. They post it on Facebook. They do these sweet pictures with the key handoffs. They announce that to Facebook, which is a whole new, set of eyes that you never had the opportunity to meet, but now they know you. Tag the client, add them on Facebook. So we use some social media strategies to do that. So we were able to kind of implement for every one piece of business that we do, we try to capitalize off the review, the tagging, and then giving them the gift so that it's being shared, and we're noticing the referrals coming in from that. And people like to trust the results, right? See, the crazy thing is that when you go get an operating procedure done, the doctor's a professional, and you know what the results are going to be, right? But in real estate, it's not like that. Our industry, sometimes it can be haywire, right? The people have personalities that can sometimes mess things up. So when it comes to our referral business, we ask for that big time because we know our client had a good experience with us. And if we could duplicate that for their friends or family, who looks like the hero, me or that person that referred me? The person that referred me. So that's one of the things I'll tell you. If you're new and you're looking to expand your business, write down literally what your business is and what you want it to look like and what the steps you need. I need more open houses. Guess what? Team up with that buyer's agent who maybe closed 3 deals last year. Okay. And guess what? Don't be worried about them leaving, because in our network, our model now, we want these people to grow to be their own team leader.
Right.
That's the whole vision of growth, right? So now, like, we had to restructure our whole model because our whole model was based on business owner employee. Now it's based off of, growth. So we got down to the nitty gritty again, brother.
Profitability, right? Profitability. This is what
exactly. So that's one of my biggest things this year in 2020. 2020 is 2020 vision, right? Using technology and expanding my agents to be better. And that's just write it down. We talk, but write it the hell down. Damn it. Write it on paper.
So it's pretty interesting, and nothing changes when you move up levels. It just the higher risk, greater reward. And Matt talked about this, how to go from 200 to 400 or 500 like him. Yeah. Better your processes, document them, get clear on them, get your agents clear on them, and have everybody using the same core language, core steps, so it's duplicatable, right? So if you lose a staff member, you lose a team member, you can plug and play, and the machine keeps going because it's ran off, right? And this is what I tell people: we're systems driven. If you don't build systems, you don't really have a business, right? And so even when you're talking to this agent that you're giving advice to, that I asked for from 40, 50 deals, how do they get to do a couple hundred like you? It's no different, except you're actually in the beginning stages of maybe making your first operating agreement, your first checklist, your first system that ties into another system, whether it's online and offline.
It's important to do. That's what separates. Has anybody ever seen a McDonald's? Like, okay, we're all business owners, right? We're all real estate professionals, but there really is no manual to do this, right? Unless, like, with Adam, you gave me a big manual. I went through it, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, you step by step every single process. Tell me step by step how to enter something that's sky slope.
Right.
If you ever looked at McDonald's manual, right? Ray Crocker, genius guy. That manual just for an employee is this big. Just for a manager, it's this big.
Right.
And a regional owner is this big. Now, there's steps on how to flip a burger. The angle, the spatula you use, it is step-by-step driven. Why is that? Think about it. They step-by-stepped it so that there is no question of how things get done, and the system remains in tune.
Well, because they got a brand promise to the consumer.
Exactly. So what's our brand promise?
Right. You know what it is.
Right. That's what you need to write it down, though, as an agent. What's my brand promise to the consumer?
Right.
What do I want the experience to be like? We're selling experiences. Airbnb didn't just open up vacation rentals because there was vacation rental companies before Airbnb. They opened up experiences to experience something that you would never see in a different city in a different light. And that's where you see the experience come in.
Right.
So I believe eXp is on the verge of new thinking, just like this conversation. Somebody out there just heard it and was like, oh shit, I'm going to create my real estate team called the Experience Team, brokered by eXp. Why not, right?
I don't know. Yeah, I like it. So hopefully you guys seen some similarities, and how to go from 50 to a couple hundred homes closed, and then how do you go from 200 homes closed to 400? These are people that we're really working with, real mega icon agents and partners that are building with us. And so, anything else, Isaac? Man, we said a lot. We're right at our time mark. I
think something super important, brother, to throw out there too. So we're just talking about what we believe in, right? We know this little secret, right? If you were Arnold Schwarzenegger and I'm asking you how to get big and buff, you're breaking it down to me, right? Yeah. The gym is nationwide. Anybody can do it, but nobody's going to have that muscles like Arnold. And the people that followed him did get it, right? So let's flip it around. If you don't run a profit and loss statement, I recommend you get one, especially whether you're self-employed, one agent, one team member, one assistant. You need a P&L. But one thing I want to share with you, brother, is when you say the word icon, let's take a step back and see what that means. So you're telling me that my cap was 16,000. Okay. I achieved icon by additional 5,000. My E&O was like $500. So when you break my numbers down the P&L, the cost for me being here with eXp was $5,500, and then the $85 a month. What did you pay your broker last year? Most people, I think some guys. I've met one guy that paid almost $100,000 in 1 year.
Right.
You're running an L, not a P, buddy.
Right. No, most people,
You know
dude,
what I mean?
I love it, man. If you don't have a P&L, you don't have a business. If
Yeah,
you don't know your
look at your
numbers, you don't have a business. So I've obviously coached a lot of people. This is a book that I recommend to entrepreneurs or new agents that don't have a P&L, that just want to understand the basics of it. It's a very short read from a professor that teaches finance. And so, yeah, if you don't have a P&L or want to learn how to read a P&L or start a P&L, start here. And this is what I give typical agents that start making a lot of money. But once they start making a lot of money, they start having tax problems because they're bad at saving or allocating, and they're not running budgets or true P&L. So I have them start there. Then that's a foundation that we could build off of. Isaac, man, I appreciate it, man.
Entrepreneurs welcome,
for you, man.
You know what I mean? Let's get it.
So, yeah, man, I look forward to being able to see you. I had a great time at our mastermind. I stayed.
I'll be in Orlando. I'll be in Orlando.
All right, guys.
Shareholder Summit. Let's get it.
Drop your comment. Drop any comments. We'll come back and answer them, or questions, whatever. And connect with these guys on Facebook, man.
Shout out your city. Where are you guys from? Let's talk.
Later, guys.
All right. Peace.
Later.